Welcome. Have a nice day. Today is Saturday, 29th of April 2023. In 1982, the Dance Committee of ITI founded International Dance Day to be celebrated every year on the 29th of April, the birth anniversary of Jean-Georges Nouri, 1727 to 1810, creator of modern ballet. 29 April in Indian history is observed as the death anniversary of the following personalities, including the Mahendra Pratap Singh, an Indian freedom fighter, journalist, writer, revolutionary. He was very much against social evils, especially untouchability. So, starting the newspaper analysis with the newspaper, The Hindu states that IAF rescues 121 people from unprepared airstrip in Sudan in midnight operation. The airstrip in question had a degraded surface with no navigational approach aids or fuel, and most critically, our landing lights that are required to guide an aircraft landing at night. AC-130J, 130J aircraft of the Indian Air Force rescued 121 people from a small airstrip at Wadi Sayed, then later on April 27, 2023. The Hindu newspaper also states that Indian Meteorological Department predicts more heat wave days for eastern India in May. There will be more than usual heat wave days over Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, Gangetic, West Bengal, East Uttar Pradesh, coastal Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, and coastal Gujarat. Shows the effect of heat wave. The Hindu newspaper also states that United States concern over illicit technology procurement by Russia for war official. Senior strategic trade official says Indian akin to a NATO partner despite USTR putting India on a priority watch list. The Roseman Candler, United States Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Export Administration. Going towards the Indian Express newspaper, states that Congress DYFI-IUML youth wing demand ban on the screening of the Kerala Story set to be released on 5 May. The Kerala Story claims that 32,000 women in the state converted into Islam and were recruited by ISIS. The Kerala Story, starring Ada Sharma, is set to be released in the cinemas on May 5. Indian Express also states that Honduras book has 6 FIRs lodged in UP of Eid Namaz on streets. The cases will be investigated. So far, no one has been identified. The cases were lodged for offering namaz in the open. Kanpur Police Commissioner Bhagirath P. Jogdand told the Indian Express on Friday. Police said that they were trying to identify those who offered namaz on streets for further action. Indian Express also states that day after attack that left wife dear Neb Sarai man says did in range. On interrogation, he said that he always resented that he got nothing from his deceased wife's family. He was always angry and held a grudges against his wife, daughter, and son, said an officer. The woman was declared dead on arrival when she shifted to the hospital. Going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper, states that cheetah from Namibia keeps MP forest staff on toes, travels more than 300 kilometers in 43 days. In the 43 days between being released to the wild and being brought back into the enclosure in Madhya Pradesh Kono National Park, 5-year-old Namibian cheetah Oban, now renamed Pavan, traveled more than 300 kilometers, keeping the forest staff on their toes. On March 11, Pavan was the first male cheetah to be released in the wildlife. Hindustan Times also states that European Union lawmakers have challenges in regulating generative AI and ChatGPT. As recently as February, generative AI did not feature prominently in EU makers' plans for regulating generative artificial intelligence technologies such as ChatGPT. The Open logo is seen on a mobile phone in front of the computer screen, which displays the ChatGPT home screen. The draft bill is not final, and lawyers say it will likely take years to come into the force. Hindustan Times also states that new panel for Delhi's Jantar Mantar revamp ASI. The Archaeological Survey of India has informed the Delhi High Court that an expert committee has been formed for the preservation, restoration, and ensuring the proper functioning of the Jantar Mantar Observatory. ASI has been given an undertaking that Jantar Mantar will be made functional and restored to its original glory. Going towards the economy of the country, Finance Minister releases withdrawn former banker Waghola's book Reflections. Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs Nirmala Sitharaman on Friday released Reflections, a book authored by eminent banker Narayan Waghol in Mumbai. The book carries a vivid account of Mr. Waghola's experiences spanning several decades in India's financial sector. Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Nirmala Sitharaman with the former chairman of ICICI Bank Limited, Narayan Waghol, and the chairman of the Piramal Group, Ajay Piramal, during the launch of the book Reflections by the Narayan Waghol in Mumbai on Friday. Markets decline in early trade after 4-day rally. Equity benchmark indices declined in initial trade on April 28 in high volatile trade as investors prefer to stay on the sidelines after a 4-day rally in the markets. The 30-share BSE Sensex declined 73.79 points to 60,575.59. The broader NSE Nifty dipped 70.85 points to 17,897.20. Sensex revisits 61,000, Nifty above 18,000, RRIL ITC stock spot. Equity benchmark Sensex climbed over 460 points to reclaim the 61,000 mark, while the Nifty closed above at the 18,000 level on April 28, propelled by a robust buying in index. Major Reliance Industries and ITC amid a fresh foreign fund inflows. The broader NSE Nifty advanced for 149.95 points or 0.84% to finish at 18,065. People walk the past an electronic signage displayed at the Bombay Stock Exchange. Going towards the world news, including Zimbabwe plans to launch a digital currency backed by the gold. Vladimir Putin signs a decree paving a way for deportation of people from annexed Ukraine. Spain, Portugal, a sweater as April temperature records broken. A Dutch court bans sperm donor who fathered at least 550 children. Japan to restore preferred trade status for South Korea. BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation Chairman Richard Sharp resigns after breaching rules over Boris Johnson loan. Going towards the science and technology, new insight into molecular interaction throws open a window to evolution. The findings represented a blueprint for adaptation-capable signaling networks across all domains of life and for the design of the synthetic biosystems. The study discovered fundamental molecular level design principles that organized all forms of biological complexity into a robustness, promoting and ultimately survival, promoting chemical reaction structures. United Arab Emirates astronaut exits ISS for first Arab spacewalk. Emirati astronaut Sultan Al-Niyadi stepped out of the International Space Station on April 28 for the first spacewalk by an Arab astronaut, a moment touted by the United Arab Emirates as a milestone. Al-Niyadi, 41, dubbed the Sultan of the Space by his alma mater, became the first Arab astronaut to embark on 6-month space mission. Emirati astronaut Sultan Al Niyadi during an interview at the International Space Station on March 7, 2023. Climate change increases risk of new emerging viruses, infection diseases in India. The prospect of climate change leading to an increased burden with the spread of diseases such as dengue, chikungunya, and malaria looms large. The prospect of climate change leading to an increased burden with the spread of diseases such as dengue, chikungunya, and malaria looms large. Ancient DNA study confirms West Eurasian genetic imprints in Kerala, Pattanam. Structures at the archaeological site indicate a vast urban settlement that was continuously occupied for a long period, say experts. A brick platform near the Vahar complex at Patana. At last, there's a famous scientist, Sir Isaac Newton, 25 December 1642 to 20 March 1726. Probability 27, was an English mathematician, physicist, astronomer, alchemist, theologian, and author who was described in his time as a natural philosopher. He was a key figure in the scientific revolution and enlightenment that followed. His pioneering book, Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica, Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy, first published in 1687. Remember the name. Newton wrote the book Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy, which was firstly published in 1687, consolidated many of previous results and established classical mechanics. Newton also made a seminal contribution to optics and shares credit with the German mathematician Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz for developing infinitesimal calculus. The famous scientist Sir Isaac Newton says a famous quotation. He says that, "To me, there has never been a higher source of earthly honor or distinction than that connected with advances in science." Okay, thank you.